We are here today in New York during Climate Week and the UN General Assembly, coming together with CEOs and executives from all walks of life to hear directly from them on how they can help to create sustainable impact through their businesses. Sustainability is rapidly becoming a cornerstone of the packaging and recycling industry. But the big question, of course, is how to repurpose and reuse what we used to just open and then throw away. D6 is tackling that challenge, rethinking not only packaging, but the entire recycling value chain. You've been kind of all over the place in your career. You grew up in Michigan, right? Went to school in Portland. And the company now, D6, is headquartered in Portland, is that right?
Well, it used to be. We actually, during COVID, arranged a deal with Governor Abbott to move our headquarters out of Texas.
Okay.
We're actually based in Sulphur Springs, Texas now.
Okay. In this interview, we're going to talk with the founder and CEO of D6, Ed Dominion. He's made it his personal mission to reimagine recycling, to build a business model for the future, and to position D6 as the industry leader in sustainability.
And we're helping close the loop on thermoform packaging, PET, polypropylene, and aluminum, all here in America.
Since its founding in 2014, D6 has been leading the way with innovations like private branded packaging, embracing recycling initiatives, and driving towards being the world's first carbon negative packaging company.
But yeah, left home, $2,000, 2 duffel bags at 18, and voila.
I never looked back.
Now we're here today.
So Ed, is this your first time to Climate Week?
Yes, this is my first time attending Climate Week, and yeah, it's been a good go so far.
Right. Aside from the traffic, right?
Yeah, a little bit of traffic.
I mean, it feels like the whole world is here for this.
There's definitely some folks here.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of that, tell me a little bit about D6. What was the inspiration for you? This is your baby.
Yeah, literally, the inspiration came from my clients. My customers asked me to reinvent the plastic industry. So literally in 2014, I started D6 Inc. At the time, and we ultimately wanted to build the first carbon negative packaging company in the world.
Carbon negative, not
Yes.
just carbon neutral.
Not just neutral, but negative. And we wanted to do it to be regenerative. So as we're building this out, we started designing private branded packaging for major retailers to consume 25 to 50% recycled content. And during this process, we had to learn about the recycling streams and the limitations of. And during this process, we really dug into how antiquated the current recycling system is. So we tried to figure out a few ways to invent a new process, which is ultimately our mechanical recycling, because we wanted to close the loop on recycling. We now are putting community recycling units in urban and rural environments, and consumers are able to bring the waste to it. We collect it, wash it, and then upcycle it into new packaging and loop it in the stores and create an auditable loop.
Fascinating, because I think a lot of people outside of urban areas like New York don't realize that if you're not getting your recycling collected, it's up to you to take it someplace. And it sounds like you're trying to make that a lot easier.
Yes, we're trying to make it convenient. So education and convenience for recycling ports or deposits, it will increase rates. Actually, 40% of the United States doesn't have access to a recycling depot.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea it was that big.
It's quite staggering. So we focus on recycling deserts. So think sub 10, 15,000 people in population. And we're working with Sam's Club and Walmart to bring free recycling to these communities, to their customers and their members.
Got it. And that's something that a big retailer like them, I mean, obviously it looks great for them. We're going to recycle the stuff that you buy from us and make something, make something useful out of it.
I think the biggest thing is customers want it. There's a lot of people that care. So when you're in these communities where people burn or bury, and even in big cities like New York, they burn a majority of the waste for the power for the city.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know that. We're trying to do mechanical recycling, and that is what we're here to talk about today at the UN conference.
Yeah. Well, quick question. What does D6 stand for?
So D6, it's a very technical name, but I come from a family of 7. So it's homage. My last name's Dominion, 6. It's homage to my mom for being 6 of 7 kids. So that's where D6 started. And I wanted something for a company name that stood out. Just didn't want to be a packaging company because we really want to evolve, and it stuck.
Right. So there's a backstory there, and there's a backstory to how you sort of came to this. It sounds like. I mean, recycling is something that's important to you as a social commitment as well.
Yeah, I always say I'm an accidental environmentalist. when I really started scratching at the surface of how waste moves around the world, not only domestically but internationally. It really kind of set my hair on fire to really dig in and come up with some new solutions, and that's where we've been integrating our facilities down in Texas to create a mechanical recycling that is literally state-of-the-art, unmatched, one of one in the world.
Huh, interesting. I mean, so you're really a purpose-driven, and sustainability and environmental stewardship are at the core of the company.
It's literally what our company was built on. So we will not deal with materials that can't be recycled. Okay. So a lot of byproducts and ancillary packaging that people put through stores, we will not manufacture or build those items. We only deal with PET, so think water bottles, clamshells, aluminum, polypropylene, and then HDPE.
Got it.
Yeah.
And these are all things that people are, handling and using every day.
Yeah, literally those items cover about 92% of all plastics in the world. So we're really focused, laser focused on upcycling those items and diverting them away from landfill or being burned or buried.
I wanted to ask you a little bit more. You mentioned education and overcoming sort of recycling deserts, but also there are cost concerns, right? There are a lot of things that people just don't understand. How is demonstrating and educating people part of what you do?
So we're doing a very different approach. So with our partnerships with Walmart and Sam's Club, we're able to bring recycling units to these rural urban communities for free.
For free?
There's no cost to them. There's no subscription model or anything like that. We're just doing the right thing for the community. So at the end of the day, cost for the overall recycling industry of our competitors and what people see, those can rise. But we really need the education of the consumers of what to put in the bins. And we're seeing this with legislation changes for EPR and PRO, changes statewide. Over 20 states have already mandated legislation around this. So we're at the forefront to help urban and rural communities recycle for free, not add tax basis, as well as complement like what's happening in California and others to buy materials off those MRFs and help upcycle those materials as well.
Got it. I just want to be clear, you're using a lot of acronyms. Are these things that your audience is going to understand?
Yeah. So a MRF, if you have a blue bin at your house or any type of recycling, that's a material recapturing facility.
Okay, a MRF. I like it.
So that's, when you put that in there, that's somebody who sorts it, puts it in big bales. Then we buy those off of MRFs, we grind them, wash them, and upcycle them into food-grade FDA plastics.
Wow. Okay, so you're really from the garbage can to the new product. You are at every step of the process.
Yeah, what we are ultimately evolving into, and that's a phenomenal transition, is we want to be a responsible end market. And with all these ESG claims and what people are trying to do these days is you have to prove it. Right? And we're doing it in a domestic manner here in America, not pushing offshore or anything like that.
Right.
So being a responsible end market, we can track the entire waste from the bale, the zip code we picked it up in, to the shelf that we put it on in a retailer. And when it comes back through our community recycling units, we can loop it. And it's really becoming a vertically integrated circle for recycling waste.
Right. And I would imagine that's very important people want to know more and more about where their products are coming from, what they're made from, who's had their hands on them along the way. You're really committed to that kind of transparency.
Absolutely committed to it.
Yeah.
There's no way it survives if we're not. Sunlight is the best sterilization. So let's put some light on it. Let's tell consumers what we're really doing with the waste and be forward with that. And we'll get better yields, and costs will come down over time as we educate the consumer more and also get better streams through the blue bins. It will bring costs down because they won't have cross contamination as much. You
mentioned education many times, and I think, is there a knowledge gap out there? I mean, what people need to know more about recycling, right?
Yes, there is somewhat of a knowledge gap, but I think there's a lot of folks that have lost faith in it, that they don't believe that it's actually real. And for all those people that don't think it's real, it actually is real. We need it. If people stop putting things in their blue bins or stop recycling, we have nothing to recycle. And it's just going to fill up landfills. So we're doing digital education, to be able to hit the masses when we're launching new community recycling units, and grassroots where we go into communities. We talk with schools, we talk with the chambers of commerce, we're talking with the key people in the communities to show them that this can be done, and please use our service for it because it's free. And they're really, really enjoying it and supporting it. So we're very thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, myself included, have seen these reports, that 96% of the plastic that you recycle never makes it to a recycler. I mean, what do you say to counter that? Look, the system is working. We just got to keep improving.
I think the thing that I can say is, a lot of the MRFs out there nowadays, they have to get through all the waste, so they can't back up. There has to be offtake agreements for these MRFs to be able to sell it off. That's the markets that we're trying to make, for instance. Most people don't know, when you put a clear thermoform or colored thermoform in your recycling bin, that it doesn't get recycled, like very minimal chance. We're working with MRFs throughout the nation to put a network together to take those thermoforms, bale them, we'll buy them, and then bring costs down because we're making more revenue rather than diverting it to the landfill and putting it into our recycling stream.
Now, thermoform, is that like a salad clamshell?
Clamshell to-go packaging.
Got it.
A salad, clear PET. It's the equivalent of a water bottle, just holding different food.
Different shape. Yeah, and they're everywhere.
Cookies.
Got it.
Strip Danishes. It's everywhere. It's pretty incredible.
Got it. And you've mentioned some of your collaborations and some of your partnerships. That's got to be hugely important for both growing your business, but also increasing understanding.
Yeah, we would not be here without Sam's and Walmart with that dedication. But at the end of the day, we're all just trying to do the right thing. And with education and time and more units out there, we want to, everything starts with one, right? We're with a quiet riot, right? We're trying to change it. So it's exciting to see where it will go.
Well, this has been a real education for me.
Well, thank you for having me here today.
Well, thanks so much, Ed. It's been terrific. D6 is driven by its founder, Ed Dominion's deep personal commitment to environmental stewardship. The core of the company's mission is to serve as a responsible end market for recycled materials and to create value by minimizing waste. With a relentless commitment to innovation, education, traceability, and transparency, D6 is striving to solve inefficiencies in recycling, set new industry standards, and make meaningful change.